Front page of the Daily Nation, Uhuru security scaled down. Debate, a decision to reduce retired President Uhuru Kenyatta's bodyguards came a day after his jibe against President William Ruto, sparking muted protests from Azimio supporters and speculation that the move is politically motivated, even as government operatives cited rationalization. More on this on page 4, but the security of the former Interior Principal Secretary, that is Karanja Kibicho, and his former boss, that is Fred Matiang'i, have also been scaled down. Former Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho said forgive me, that print is rather small. Let me refer to my hard copy here. And the former Interior Principal Secretary Karanja Kibicho said, as a common citizen, he no longer needs to be guarded. And from former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i declined to comment on reports of withdrawal of bodyguards. I'm curious what my panelists make of this. Kidi Mwaga, is the timing of this suspicious? Former President Uhuru Kenyatta, while visiting with the late Professor George Magoha's family, stated that those who have nothing to do are busybodies. They can talk, and he says his life will continue unimpeded, unhindered. And former CS Fred Matiang'i also made comment about everything they did under the Uhuru administration being rubbished, and it'll come in time, he says, whatever foundation they laid, he said, will show. So do you think the timing of said withdrawal of the security is suspicious? Do you buy I don't want to call it an argument, but the statement that it's just part of normal rationalization? That's the word, rationalization.
Well, the first thing is that it is not lost on anyone at the coincidence that the said scale down is happening just after when the president and his former cabinet secretary for interior have apparently thrown jibes at this administration. But then there is a precedent that has been set the world over, that usually a former head of state usually attempts to limit expressing his views in regards to how his successor runs the administration. Usually it is supposed to give the new sheriff in town time to adjust, to settle in, and be able to set up. History is also replete with those sides of state who came in and attempted to frustrate their predecessors. We have the case of Frederick Chiluba and Kaunda, and Chiluba himself didn't end well. So I think that irrespective of what comes from the president, former President Kenyatta, President Ruto must treat very cautiously, because this could also be a political landmine. Why would it be a political landmine? I wanted to take us back to the year 2003, 2004, and this country, people, especially the political class, hated President Moi with their breath. But even when, the overzealous members of Kibaki's administration wanted to, revenge on President Moi, President Kibaki always ensured that people around him knew that President Moi was no-go zone. So I think it is something that President Ruto may want to embrace, and so that to ensure that people do take advantage of such instances to sow seeds of unnecessary animosity. Yes, thank you.
Omulo,